Go away. Go away. Oh jeez, I forgot about stream elements. Alright then. What is my thumbnail right now? Okay, that's fine. Mm. Mm. It says it's live. Go away. That's not the one that I wanted. That one. And then, oh boy, why am I on? Okay, I see. Why is that? Why is that a thing? Wait, why did it? No, that's not what I wanted. Take me back to the dashboard, please. Oh, jeez. Gonna fix that. Gonna fix that. Okay, cool. Stop putting me on top chat. Why is that a thing? Why is that not docked? Okay, progress. My other problem though. Hey, dear puppy. Am I being weird, am I? We're like, what is all this chaos? Which? So I'm using this cable. Okay. Where the heck does that go? What is that? What is that? Moving on. What? I don't know what this is. No, that one. Ah. Let's see. Oh, much better. Haha! I did the thing. Okay. Oh my god. Oh, sorry, Toby. I didn't mean to eat you. Wait, way more punishment. No, Lord. Let's just use the toilet. Hello, Toby. What you doing? Is I being weird? That is so strange using that. You. No, I gotta do stuff. I'm gonna do stuff. What's this little dashboard? That's... how's that useful? Nope, that doesn't even turn up over there. What? Why would that be useful? And with the chat? Oh, there we go. There we go. That's what we want. Hello? Why do you keep jumping up and down? Okay, cool. Discord, what? Okay, yeah, that can go away. What is Discord doing? That one? Oh, that looks very bright. My hair looks terrible. Should I go brush my hair? No, you know what? It's fine. Hello, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm like, why are you sitting at your desk? What is this? Hey! Stinky! Alpha! How are you? Welcome, welcome. Thank you, Sneaky. It's, I watched it this morning, and then I went for a 2-hour walk. So, it's, windblown. That's the effect we've got. Hang on. My brain is absolutely all over the place at the moment. So, hello, Toby. You want to say hi? Sorry, my feet are cold. I just went and got... Look at these socks! I got, like, super fluffy home socks from Kmart the other day. And I was just like, my feet are cold. I'm gonna go get my brand new fancy fluffy socks. Except Toby keeps thinking they're toys and trying to steal them. It has been a while. I was very burnt out on streaming. Holy shit, was I burnt out on streaming. When did I last stream? It's been a while. But I felt like chatting. And I missed out going to a social thing last night because I didn't feel well. But I wanted to be social. So I was like, fuck it, we're gonna stream. Hello, Toby. Do you want to come say hi? Do you want to say hi to everyone? Yeah, come here, come here. I know I just jumped a blanket on you, but you can come say hi. Look, it's a Toby! Hey. You're like, what? What is this? February? Okay, that's not as bad as I thought it might have been. But, oh, I really need to get this camera to go lower. But anyway. Yeah, setting up again took ages because I'd actually, like, unplugged a lot of stuff. Like, I use this camera for work now, so it was set up to be plugged into my MacBook instead of my desktop. So, had to figure out which HDMI cable came from that monitor because it's been plugged directly into my Switch lately to play Zelda. Yeah, but how are you all? What has everyone been up to? Because yeah, it's been ages. Oh, puppy. Wait, do I have... Where's that Logitech program? Is that the one I want? I think I want options. I have so many bloody Logitech programs on here now. I swear every piece of Logitech software needs a different program. Because they keep updating and making new... They're like, yeah, we've released a new piece of software that's better than the last one. Except it's not backwards compatible with shit. So then you just end up installing a whole bunch of them and I hate it. Yeah, I've been through this before. Why do I need to sign in? Okay, no, I can't be bothered doing that right now. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I can stream directly. Wait, what? What is this? Is this for the camera? Okay, anyway, we're gonna close that. What do we want to listen to? I want to play some music. Should I just put on Lo-Fi Girl? Or... Hang on. Oh, right, that's what I should do. Wait, why is it not... Ugh, that's not what I want to do. I'm all the way down the bottom of the... That didn't work. That didn't work at all. Hang on. I'm messing with settings and it's not going great. Why is it that? Ugh. Okay, well that's slightly better. Anyway. If I go? If I go. Much as I like the idea of like Harris Heller's music and stuff, Lo-Fi Girl is just so much easier just to turn on and look into it. I don't know how this much. Hey, nice. Hold on. I saw you sent me a something the other day of like real or fake or something. Except I think because you sent a file with it and my notification popped up with the file name. And I think you had something hoax in it or whatever, and I was like, ah. Unfortunately, I know the answer already. What is that going to? Wrong audio source. That would be why. Is my mic picking up the music? Because I don't want to wear headphones if I can help it, but that means I'm putting I'm playing the music through speakers, so hopefully my mic isn't picking it up. Toby, you can't sit on my lap while I'm doing stuff. You just can't. What's my... Yes. So the thing I wanted to do today, I'm actually going to put this over here. This graphics from mock media stuff. Oh, I see. Interesting. That's different. Alright, cool. What do I want to do? So I have two thoughts of what to do today. Also, I need to check my food every now and then. Don't let me forget. I could do some article writing practice, in which case I would be open to suggestions for a topic. Or I could do some graphics. Because I did actually start trying my hand in an Etsy thing a while back, which is like, eh. I get the weirdest recommendations on Etsy now. Just to like see if I could do something. Jesus, still getting views even though I haven't done anything in like a while. You know what, let's do that. I feel like doing some graphics. I just have to figure out exactly what I want to do. I think I want to have a bit more fun with it this time. Which Google account did I put this under? Is that the right one? It is the right one. Chaos! Hello, how you doing? Yeah. My brain, like... I was saying earlier, I missed a social thing last night because I had a migraine. But I wanted to hang out with people. And also my brain is like, we need to create stuff today. So I am figuring out what to create. Little sick. No! You haven't done too much recording of rant videos lately, have you? Oh my god, I want matcha donuts. That sounds amazing. Why is my monitor not turning up? Now it turns up. Cool. Okay. Okay. This is fine. Why is that not loading the background? That'll do. Moving boxes broken down. Hey, nice. You just put them out for recycling? Toby. You just want cuddles. Oh yeah. Toby's on my lap, which means I can't like type properly, but I feel bad moving him, but also I need to be able to do shit, so... Alright, what do I want to make? So I started a thing a while back. Really just to see if I could, and like, because I felt like designing stuff. Oh god, I need to remove the Twitter thing from my overlays. Anyway. I need to fix this overlay a bit. Well, I probably just need to make a set of different overlays. Anyway. Should I actually just... Hang on, we're gonna do something. I actually don't feel like... What's the, Logan! Hello, how you doing? How are you doing after last night, actually? Did you have fun with all your insanity? Where's the... Come on, collapse. My usual mouse is currently charging, so I'm using a different mouse, which is one that I don't usually use for a reason. It's a little bit awkward to use. I forgot that this doesn't have... I have decided, fuck it, we are going to, Hi can't be bothered with fancy overlays today. We're gonna do something a bit more basic. Can I just put on a frame around that? I don't remember how to do anything. That doesn't help. Oh, that's what that does. That's not what I want. I thought I could just make a border around stuff in OBS, but apparently not. 29 degrees and expect a high of 34. Have fun. Easy, it's just longer puzzle. Yeah. I mean, to me that sounds like lovely weather, but like, fair. Hang on. We're just gonna do this. I swear there was a way to just do borders in OBS, but I guess not. I don't even get a frame. Oh, because I'm pulling in a scene. Really have forgotten how to do absolutely everything. Oh dear. Can I do it here? Oh, I'm an idiot. I know how to do this. Hang on. And color. Okay. No, that's not what I want. I want a purple, thank you very much. Cool. It's so weird using a different mouse. No, that's not what I wanted you to do. Stupid OBS. I'm spending way too much time messing with something that really doesn't matter, but anyway. This is normal for me. We all know this. Stop snapping to the corner. Okay. How's that look? I know you guys can't see what I'm doing. Toby's like, what? How you doing? Sorry, I was very distracted messing with OBS shit. How are you doing? Can I set an opacity? Alpha channel. Is that what I want? I don't remember. Oh, that's too low. That's too low. That's still too low. 200. Yeah, you know what? That'll do. It's something. Is the ratio locked? No, I'm just gonna regret messing with that at this point. Let's just leave that. Aha! Oh wow, that's massive now, actually. Yoink. Yoink. Let's get that. Alright, cool. Did I change my mic? Oh, is it cutting out? No. But I have been messing with it lately. Let me know if it's being too annoying. Yeah. Hang on. Okay, I missed a bunch of chat. Sorry. Usually create some video on my iPad using Procreate. Do my installation down the correct version. Not working. Now my laptop. I mean, at least you didn't get a virus from it. Yeah. I don't have an iPad. I'd love Procreate, but don't have an iPad. So, and also the kind of stuff I'm doing is I do a lot of vector shit and then also just Canva because I do a lot of, I'll show you what I've been doing in a little bit. I just sort of, as per my previous rants, I'm sick of having a 9-to-5 job. And I enjoyed doing the contract writing, but I also burn out super hard on it. So I was like, what other things can I do that could potentially bring in, you know, a bit of income? And so I was messing with an Etsy thing for a bit, and then I haven't had spoons for it in a couple of months. So, yeah. I'm gonna have another go at making some stuff today. See how it goes. Aircon's running in buildings nearby, but I'm cheaper. Yeah, fair. I'm getting lots of rain lately, so it's humid as fuck. Brits. Does Britain have another heat wave? Oh boy. And they became Apple's. I am not. I do have 2 MacBooks now, but I get to blame work for that. I also refuse to buy into the ecosystem. I refuse. I try to not get too entrenched in any ecosystem. It isn't just an Apple thing. I just don't like ecosystems. So yeah. Oh, I gotta stop doing that. Oh, food. Shit. Hell, it's been a while. Toby, watch out. I gotta go check on my food. Yay! Good boy. Good boy. We gotta check on the food. Look what I made! Oh my god, it's got the thing. Look what I made! Oh, I'm trying not to spill it. I have a massive wok full of food. Oh, this is so heavy. Is this some? Enjoy. I'll do stuff on you. It's an open again. Containers. Big containers. Sorry, I'm just quickly like, she's starting to get your diet under control. Yes, I made Frankenbowl. Although I'm not even sure I can call this Frankenbowl at this point because it was that thing is like mostly veggies, which is good. This is what I need to do. But yeah. This is why I was gonna stream, and then I was like, shit, I bought mince and carrots the other day, and then specifically put them in the fridge, so I needed to cook before they went off. So I'd actually cook. And so I did. I like went to get water before streaming and then was like, wait, shit, food. But there's like most of 2 carrots in there because Toby had a bit of one of them. Lentils, peas, beans, beetroot, like beetroot noodles, the really thinly sliced bits. Potato. Oh, and I had some like veggie rice stuff that basically it was a combination of I need to eat a lot of veggies, and because I haven't been cooking for a while, there's a bunch of stuff in my freezer that needed eating up. So I also just dumped in like I had a thing of veggie rice that had like frozen together because I've had it a bit too long, and I was like, all right, that goes in. So I have an entire wok full of food, and I'm running out of containers, so I just go digging for these. I'll be back in a minute. Please go. Minnie? You got the sun. What? You got the sun. You don't need to hang around me. Okay, I'm back. Hello. Toby! Every time I say hello, he thinks there's someone at the door. No, no one. It's all gone. Go back to the sun. Go on. Go inside. No. Is the explanation what she's been up to? You didn't do much, Eric. So the current thing, I also just saw my vitamin C I needed to take. I think I have scurvy, or was on my way towards scurvy, which has been fun. It's a side of, I'm allergic to vitamin C. I say as I'm taking vitamin C tablets. So my diet, that's like one of the things that my diet is very, like I walk a very fine line between eating enough vitamin C to not get scurvy and triggering my allergies, usually. My vitamin C allergy is really annoying. But yeah, I realized on Tuesday that I tried to take an iron supplement, just my normal iron supplement, which is pretty low in iron, really. No more cuddles. And my body went, what is this? I don't like this. And I'm like, that's a bad sign. I've been through this before. I know exactly where this is gonna go, and I refuse to let it continue. So yeah, my body not liking iron is usually a sign that my vitamin C levels are too low, because that's how you need vitamin C to process iron. So then I was like sitting there and thinking back on my diet for the last couple months, and I was like, yeah, I haven't been eating any vitamin C. So yeah, I'm now having great fun with taking one of the few forms of vitamin C that I can sort of manage, because this is a weird chemically treated version, and hence the cooking as well, because I was like, I need to actually fix my diet. And that's gonna start with just making something that has a lot of veggies in it, and that there's like, I don't know, like 7 meals in what I just cooked. So yeah, I'll freeze like half, and then it'll be food for like 2 weeks, and it'll be much better than what I've been doing lately. Anyway. Yes, you can actually be allergic to vitamin C. Great fun. Thank you. I don't know if it was full on scurvy. I think I might have caught myself early enough that it wasn't properly scurvy, but scurvy is one of those things that I've had several doctors like drill me on. If you start seeing these symptoms, fix your shit. So, oh my god. Toby, hello. He's gotten too good at jumping up on my lap lately. Hey Toby, you want to say hi? Here we go. It is much better than my previous job. It's been a bit chaotic, which is the other reason I like just couldn't stream, because I haven't had the spoons. Hello. Hello. Hey Toby, wanna say hi? Who's it? Who's it? He's like, what? What? But yeah, it's good. Except I'm wearing like 6 different hats at the moment at work. I've been playing Release Manager the last week because we had several releases all going out. One of them is Monday. Well, 2 of them are Monday now. But yeah, we've had several releases, and they're all interdependent things, and so they had to go out in a very specific order, and we had to do all this testing, and we had blah 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 blah. So anyway, yeah, I've been playing Release Manager, which I don't mind doing. But this was just a particularly chaotic set of releases. And there was like a million other things happening at work at the same time. So, yeah. There was 2 insane projects that we were meant to be doing that have been like, come down from stakeholders and the board and everything, and they were like, gotta do these things. That sounded fine until we started digging into the technical details, and then we were like, oh boy, this doesn't make any sense. And although it's a bit worrying for revenue, both of those projects got cancelled in the last week, which has made me kind of happy, because I was like, we could do these, but it's gonna suck. Fixed all our bugs yet? You're getting the last fix on Monday. Well, unless we decide we need another day of testing, but just about. Holy shit, the number of, what kind of hats? Top hats, fedoras? All the hats. All the different like shapes and sizes that you can think of. All of them. Scurvy is very rare these days, so surprised. Yeah, it is. Which is the other problem of a lot of doctors won't even think of it. Like if you turn up at a doctor's clinic with the symptoms of scurvy, it's so rare that most doctors won't even think of it. Which is the reason I've been drilled on the symptoms myself. Because my doctors have been like, you are susceptible to this. Other people probably aren't going to think of it unless you tell them that this is a potential problem. And even then, doctors are like probably going to have to look up the symptoms to check. So here is a list of symptoms. Remember them. If you ever start feeling these, vitamin C. So technically I could permanently avoid it by taking ascorbate, which is a chemically treated version of ascorbic acid, vitamin C. which this is half a scorbate, which is why I'm being able to eat these without dying. But a scorbate's a powder, and I hate having to mix powder. Like, you're meant to mix it in drinks, and I hate it. And amusingly, the recommendation is to mix it in a glass of orange juice, which I can't drink. So you mix it in with anything else, and it just, oh, it's unpleasant. I was very pleased to discover that very specifically when I was at the chemist. I'm seeing Frozen Live. Hey, enjoy that. That would be good, Alpha. I was very pleased when I was at the chemist because I walked in and I was like, long shot, like to the staff lady behind the counter. I'm like, long shot, but do you have the vitamin C supplements that are for people who are allergic to vitamin C? And the girl kind of just looked at me like, what? I was like, yeah, it's a thing. It's like a powder. I haven't had it in like 10 years. I got given it, like prescribed it years ago when it was kind of a new thing. Couldn't remember the name, no idea what it was called, no idea how to find it. And she's like, what? So she starts looking up something on her computer, and one of the other girls like looks over in interest. And so the girl I was talking to like nerd snipes the other girl. She's like, have you ever heard of a powder? Like a vitamin C powder for people allergic to vitamin C? And the other girl's like, oh, wait, what? And then a couple minutes later, the second girl was like, do you mean Melrose? Which I still need to look up. I want to know what the heck they're talking about. But the second girl just happened to have like heard of this stuff before. She's like, it's not stable, is it? I'm like, no, it's a powder. She's like, yeah, Melrose, look that up. They looked it up. They didn't have it. They were like, you go to Chemist Warehouse. Chemist Warehouse has Melrose. But I was like, I needed vitamin C. And if I had to take the extra steps of going to the local Chemist Warehouse, which is not at all local, it's quite a trip, I knew I just wasn't going to do it. So I was like, cool, I'm going to make a note of that. Thank you. They're like, oh yeah, they found it online on the Chemist Warehouse thing, and they're like, it's a Scorbate by Melrose. I'm like, cool. I'm just going to go grab something, and I'm just going to deal with the allergy symptoms. And then I'm looking at that giant wall of vitamins, and I'm like looking along all the ones and trying to find like the one with the lowest vitamin C, like the lowest ascorbic acid thing. So these are like 150 milligrams. I'm like, yeah, okay, I could probably deal with that. And then reading further, and I'm like, hang on, these are half a Scorbate. Like every other vitamin C tablet is full on ascorbic acid. And they were all like 250 mil and all this other stuff and milligrams, and I'm like, I can't eat any of these. And then I saw this one, I'm like, oh, the ascorbic acid's really low. Oh, it's half a Scorbate. I can actually like sort of have these. So yeah, anyway, that was my Tuesday. Realizing that I was on my way to scurvy and going, shit, I need vitamin C. Because also I found the vitamin C tablets at the back of my cupboard, and they were old and like all stuck together. But yes, anyway, that's a whole thing. So yeah, scurvy is actually possible, mostly in people with vitamin C allergy. Like I just instinctively don't eat stuff that's high in vitamin C because it makes me feel really weird. And I've been allergic to vitamin C since I was a kid, so. But do actually need to. Also, I feel like the music's gotten louder. I hope you're not hearing an echo. I'm sorry if you're hearing it. Right. So I was with him. Yeah, we get them here as well. Spider used to always go to the... I think most of the orchestra shows they did. Oh my god. Logan, ever since you posted the thing about cats the other day, the video essay, I've had cats music just stuck in my brain. Actually, if anyone likes like video essays about movies and stuff. Oh god, why is that the screen, the thumbnail? Where's... No, this guy. I don't know if I've linked him anywhere. He doesn't really look at shows as much, but he's a script doctor. Like, that's his job. He goes in and reads people's scripts and tries to tell them how to fix shit. And he does all these videos, and I love them. And it's like, because I'm watching these as a writer, not a script writer, like a fiction writer, not a script writer. But the advice in these is just so, it's actually actionable. Like, so many writing videos, they do the same usual, like, show, don't tell, and blah, blah, blah. And I think he actually has a, doesn't he have a thing in here somewhere that's like, show, don't tell is bullshit? I think it's one of the ones in... I think it's one of these how to become a writing god ones, which is a list of things. But yeah, if anyone's interested in like writing like movies and how movies should be written and anything like that, this guy's amazing. Just where's the perspective one? I think it's the supporting characters. This was an interesting one. Every line counts. So is it Local Scriptman? His name is Local Scriptman. I shall throw the link in chat actually. If I can remember which of my many windows right now that is in. Yeah. Oh yeah, this one has like show don't tell is there's not all writing tips are created equal. It has about show don't tell and how you should actually like how that is just a massive oversimplification. I think the one that I think Avatar is Good and I Will Die on That Hill was the first one I found of his videos. That or the Way of Water one of the two Avatar ones. But then I watched How to Become a Writing God, and Write Like a King is amazing. It's like, it's like, here is an example of a script that kind of sounds reasonable until you actually start thinking about how this would be turned into a film, and actually it's shit, and here's how you fix it. And the supporting characters one, I think that's the one with like, you need a central theme and then all your characters should have a perspective of that theme. Like they should all represent a different one, or, you know, groups of characters or whatever. But yeah. These videos are great. He's only been doing it for a year. Also, this just came out 8 hours ago. I'm so keen. I'm going to be watching that later. But yeah. Also, yeah, 35 minutes? 40 minutes? 90 minutes? 90 minutes? I think one of these is like... Yeah, the Avatar one's 50 minutes? When it was new. It's suddenly an interesting movie. Like, it's weird, but I did like his Toby has decided my keyboard is making a good pillow. To be fair, he's got his head on the wrist rest. Break down the movie. You cool movie flame and just... Oh, okay. Movie flame. I will check that out. I also get a lot of joy out of Toby. He's decided to lick my hand. Thank you. This guy? I shall have a look. Thank you. I do also get a lot of fun out of Drinker. Where is... I always forget his full username. Where is it? Where is it? Oh my god, so many things I follow. Also, if anyone hasn't seen Jordan Howlett, his just so good. Him just exposing all the like fast food secrets. It's like, yeah, this is how you do, you know, the however many herbs and spices from KFC. Where's Drinker? Where's the video from Drinker? Oh look, there's Chaos's video. Critical Drinker. That's it. Critical Drinker. I feel like I don't always agree with his opinions, but I do find his videos very amusing, so I didn't. Oh, Yoga with Adrian is doing live streams now. Something in the universe where he goes through the story from life to death. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh god, Mistborn Origins. Alright. Also, I feel like I'm about to sneeze. I took vitamin C and now my nose is itchy. Hi. This is my life at the moment. Anyway, alright, I was gonna do some creative stuff. Let's do some creative stuff. So yes, I have two possible things I could do, and I was gonna do this one, but now I'm like going back and forth. I'm thinking either I want to do some article practice, so might need some help coming up with a topic, and then try and write, like just draft a, I don't know, 1,500 word article on it. Or I started messing around with this idea a little while back, which is Etsy store with printable shit, because I discovered that people will pay to have just like pretty planners and things. I know this is tiny, so you can't really see, but I'm always making planners and calendars and shit for myself. So I was like, wait, you mean I can just put these on Etsy and people might buy them? But of course the problem with Etsy is that you need to like, it's got a bloody algorithm. So you have to be active and you have to keep adding more stuff and like running sales and blah, blah, blah. And anyway, I could do more planner things, but I don't know. There we go. Yeah, no, that's tiny. You probably can't see. Do I write an article or do they... do I do this? Oh no, there's more. I follow a stained glass shop on Etsy and it's very dangerous. I kind of want to write. What's a topic? What's a topic I could write something about? The easiest thing is to have a question, and a fairly pointed question that I could answer. I started trying to write an article a little while back on writer's block and like artist block, and there's a theory in my brain about artist block and like the stages of learning. But I don't have like a pointed enough topic for a short article. Tooth Kingdom? The what? What caused the Tooth Kingdom to fall? Oh no, are you about to send me down a research rabbit hole? That's not how you spell kingdom. Oh god, why is there an IMDb page? Dr. Rabbit and the Legend of the Tooth Kingdom. What? Logan, what? Oh, no. In this case, I mean, actual, like a tech writing article. I do also write fiction, but I felt like writing an actual article today as a bit of practice. I should not be surprised. There's a movie about it. Like, there's a thing on YouTube, and there's an IMDb page. There's also, I think, dental clinics by the look of this. Yeah, dental clinics. Yeah, it has an IMDb page, Logan. So, I don't recognize any of these names. Is there any? There's nothing on the storyline. It's an educational thing, apparently. 2004. It has a website. Production company. Colgate Palmolive. Yep. That sounds about right. Love that my IMDb history also just has Kung Fu Hustle as the last thing that I looked up. Maybe I should figure out something about that writer's block's topic. I need to narrow it down so I can actually write something that's short. What's the thing? Actually, no, I know how to get there. Oh, my body really did not like that vitamin C. Anyway, what's the thing I'm looking for? Johari window. Has anyone not heard? I mean, probably most people. Can I rant about the Johari window for a second? I like the Johari window. I like it a lot. Hang on, let me bring up. Problem is the version of it that I know is a very specific like subset, like the one that I like the best. No, not those ones. Because it's usually used for like self-understanding. It's a way of classifying like stuff that you understand about your own personality versus stuff you don't know. And it's done like you get all the data points by you filling out a questionnaire or something, and then you get people around you to fill out the same questionnaire, and then you classify like stuff that you selected goes in a certain box, and stuff that they selected that you didn't goes in a different box, and stuff that you all selected goes in a different box. Anyway, there's a version of this that I like, which is more about knowledge. And because find one that doesn't have all the extra bullshit written on it. Where's the... We're going down a psychology rabbit hole now. This is fine. Gimme. I found it before. Do I need to not have Johari window in there? Because I need to find the subset. Here we go. We'll use this one. That's not actually what I wanted to do. Thank you very much. An imaging tab. There we go. Alright, is that big enough that you guys can actually see it? Yeah, you're just gonna get a rant now. Sorry. So this is a variation of the Johari window. I've got some research on the history of it somewhere. It was some like politician or general or something that made this particular version popular. And you've got knowns and unknowns, and it's just a matrix of them. And this particular version is about knowledge in general. So you've got known knowns, which are things that we are aware of and understand. Known unknowns, which are things that you are aware of but you don't understand. So like for me, astrophysics, that's an entire field of research that I know exists. I have no idea about anything in it. Like, that's no. But I know it's there, and I could like go and learn it if I wanted to. Unknown knowns are things that we understand but aren't aware of. So this is the stuff that you've forgotten you learned. Like tying your shoelaces for a lot of people. Like the stuff that you can do it, but if someone asked you how or how something works, you'd have to actually puzzle it through because you're just so used to it that it's just instinctive. And then there's unknown unknowns, which is stuff that we aren't even aware of, let alone understand. Which is impossible to give examples of because that's the whole point. Like, actually no, perfect example. There's an actual Tooth Kingdom video, I don't know what it was. We didn't even know that existed until 10 minutes ago when Logan made up a thing, and then we were like, oh shit, this is an actual thing. That was an unknown, and now it's a known unknown, I guess? I don't know. Anyway, the one thing I hate about this is that it very quickly hits, you know the thing where you forget what a word, like you've written or said a word so much that it loses all meaning. My main problem with this version is that known and unknown very quickly hit that point. Anyway, I was looking this up because this particular variation branches off from, yeah, there are known knowns. United States Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld, that's right, this is the guy that made this thing popular. Anyway, this branches off from 4 stages of competence. There we go, that's the thing I was looking for. He somehow basically managed, well, he'd heard this from someone else, but he basically managed to match the actual Johari window about personality understanding and this thing together. But hierarchy of competence. Logan, you've probably seen this one before. I wouldn't be surprised. But basically, similar thing. You've got unconscious incompetence. You don't know. You're bad at the thing and you don't know how to do it anyway. Conscious incompetence. You know some stuff about the thing, but your intuition is wrong. Conscious competence is where you know what you're doing, but you still have to actively do the thing. Like, it's not yet habit or muscle memory. And then unconscious competence is where it becomes habit. So they relate. Anyway, this is my problem with this article that I'm trying to write, because all of that is like the backstory to how I think this fits in with writer's block. An artist block. Because I feel like, and even like problem solving, when you get really stuck on a problem. Because it was something I realized at some point of like, when you're learning something, you need to move through these stages, right? Like that, this is exactly why this is a pyramid. When you're trying to learn something new, you move from the bottom up. And people don't always get to the very top because they might learn a thing to do it at that moment, do the thing, and then never do it again. And so you never get to unconscious competence. And the other thing is that, like, as you learn one thing, you tend to find a bunch of questions about related things. And so you kind of go from, like, not knowing much at all to knowing and being able to do one thing, and then knowing about but not being able to do a bunch of other things. And so your knowledge kind of spreads in a web. And I wondered one day if one of the sources of like writer's block and stuff could be that you don't have the right information at that point in time to move through the layers. With the particular, the reason I keep coming back to the Johari window is because, like, if you look at this thing, you have to move from not being aware of or understanding something at all to being aware of something but not understanding it, to aware of and understand. So are you going like unknown, unknown, known, unknown, known, known. You can't see my cursor. I wish you could see my cursor right now. And then unknown knowns. So you kind of go in a circle. But what if you like... This is my problem. I need to figure out how to explain this properly. Ah. I feel like there's a point sometimes where you are at a certain stage of learning something and you can tell you've gotten good enough that you can tell there are things that you don't understand, but you also don't quite know enough to actually be able to describe the things you don't understand. Does that make any sense? I have just been very much ranting people. Like, okay, let me ask this as a question for anyone who's creative. Have you ever been in a point where you create something and then you look at it and it's not right? Like it's not what you had in your head. It just doesn't feel right, but you can't figure out why. That's sort of where my brain's been going. But I don't know. It's a problem solving loop. Don't know if you want to. Yeah, it is, and I feel like it's almost. It was partly our conversation, I think, a couple weeks ago that got my brain ticking along this as well. But I feel like there's something like when you. Right. I feel like there is a bit of a difference when. Hello. I'm way down in a rant about like learning and competence and writers and artist block. Yeah. Trying to explain something that's been in my head, but I haven't been able to find a way to explain it well. So I'm ranting at you all in the hope that I'll find the words. Yeah, I feel like there's a difference. Like when you set out to problem solve, you know you have a problem. You know you need to find, the right information, etc. to solve it. I feel like that gives you a bit of a framework. Yeah, where you, like, if you set out to solve a problem, you know that you need to figure out the concept, you need to find all the underlying knowledge, etc., etc., and then, practice it or whatever so that you can actually grok it properly. But I think one of my breakthroughs in writing in the last few months was when I realized that I needed to do the same thing with my writing. And I think I'd sort of instinctively understood for a while that whenever I got hit with writer's block, I would go write something different. Like in the last year or so, I used to just bash my head against a wall and stare at an empty screen, empty document. But in the last year or so, I realized that when I get stuck with a story or something, the best thing I can do to try and get through that block is not sit there and try and bash my head against the wall with the same thing. It's to go and write something different. So, for example, I got stuck on some stuff last year. And so I went and did some epistolary writing, which is writing in the format like letters or something. So Dracula is an epistolary novel, novella, whatever it is. So I went and wrote some things it was a short story in the format of emails and only emails. And that was amazing. I loved doing that. It was a great little exercise. I only did that for a couple of weeks. Worked on that. But I found that by doing that, that actually helped me a lot with dialogue and getting a character's voice through in the dialogue, but also not just making the dialogue more genuine, but also getting more subtlety and, the things that aren't said and the way things are said. There's a back and forth email chain, and some people are being very formal and some people aren't. And you have, over time, in one of the short stories I worked on in particular, there's two people going back and forth. One starts very formal and over time gets less formal as they actually get comfortable with the other person. Like they start out as strangers and they become sort of friends by the end, or at least colleagues. Whereas the other person starts out very informal, like the laziest, worst emails ever. But towards the end, gets actually a little bit more formal because their respect for the other person increases. And also because it's the best way for them to make the point that they're trying to make. You can see them becoming sort of colleagues. Subconscious brain in the back. What do you mean by that? I think I get what you mean, but I'm curious. Epistemology, the methodology. Yes. RJ, I loved learning that back when I did psych. That was one of the couple of subjects in psych that I really loved. And I still love it. Every time I hit anything to do with epistemology, epistemology? I can only say it because it's on screen right now and I'm reading it. Yeah, it's one of the few things that I'm always like, I actually really enjoy this. Yeah, I think you would have just missed it, RJ. This is the other diagram that's living rent free in my brain. But yeah, anyway, the point of the epistolary writing stuff was that by doing something completely different and learning a new skill and practicing a new skill and like consciously setting out to do something where I had to have perfect dialogue because dialogue was all I had, I improved that skill. And when I went back to the thing that I'd gotten blocked on, I got writer's block on, I realized I was able to like reread what I've been writing and realized that at least part of my problem had been the dialogue. But I hadn't been able to, like, when I looked at it previously, one, I was too close to the problem. Like, I did just need a break and to come back with fresh eyes. But two, I hadn't practiced my dialogue skills enough to be able to look at the original piece of writing and actually realize that was the problem. I knew something was wrong, but I couldn't actually recognize the problem. Toby, go on, get Dion. Go on. Yeah, good boy. You want to go in the sun? You go in the sun. Go on, go in the sun. Go, can we go? Go. Yeah. Go on, go enjoy the sun. I'm not going to threaten you, but you can go out there by yourself. Come on, sun. Sun. Yeah? I can tell Toby wants to go out in the sun, but he's like, but I want you to come with me. Anyway. As hammock-driven development. He would love that. And then something. Rain, let the bone simmer. Ah, right. This was less, because there's also that. I know we've talked about that a few times as well, but like, this was actually, I guess, the opposite of. Yeah, I don't know how to describe this well, but it's like you get stuck on a problem, and so you specifically and consciously go and practice something different, which may or may not end up being related to the thing you were like. I'm still practicing writing either way. It was the same thing with the article writing actually. I was still practicing writing, but because I was practicing writing in a different lens, I ended up focusing on very different, like, specific skills. And by increasing those skills in a lens where they were key focus, I was able to then bring that back to, you know, my fiction writing. It's almost like I'm treating learning a skill like writing, which is massively multifaceted, as a skill tree. Not quite in the same way that, you know, a game has a skill tree, but in that, like, there are all the different things you need to learn to be a master writer, and all those skills are interwoven in various ways, and they're working on the same thing. Other thing. No, because that was one thing I thought of, and so I think, yeah, like, if I'd managed to get through the writer's block just because of, you know, hammock-driven development, that to me would have just been taking a break, letting it simmer in the back of my brain, and then coming back to it and having the answer, which I have also done with various stories. I picked up again one last night that I dropped a year ago, like a story, because it's finally, I recognized a year ago that I didn't have the writing skills to manage it, but also I didn't know enough of the, actually I've been doing this a lot lately. I'll have an idea for a story, I'll jot down a few notes and then go, I don't have enough for an outline. Like, I don't have enough ideas for an outline. Because I've actually started writing off an outline finally instead of just winging it. And so I'm actually doing that. I come up with an idea, I jot those notes down, and then I just leave it in the back of my brain. All right, Alpha, see you, have a good day. With the understanding that over time my brain will keep churning away at outlines and ideas, and in however long, I will have a fully fleshed out story. Or I'll realize that the idea is silly and I should never do it anyway. Like I've been leaving empathy. I stopped trying to write empathy. I've just been letting it simmer in my brain. And I've got way more ideas for what that should look like. Also realized that needs to be a trilogy the other day. Which is like, god damn it, this was meant to be a novel. But I realized one of my biggest problems, like literally just was working the other day, and all of a sudden my brain was like, hey, that problem with empathy, the solution is it needs to be a trilogy. And I'm like, god damn it, yeah, it does. But anyway, chaos. Oh no. Oh well, at least you'll be comfortable now. So anyway, yes, sometimes just leaving the problem in my brain does solve things. But I think at least with writing, and I think also for art, back when I used to, I think this is one of my biggest problems with drawing and art, that I didn't know this at the time. Some things can be solved by letting it simmer in the back of my brain, but I think that works well for things where I need to either come up with more ideas or flesh out an idea. It doesn't work so well for things that are skill-based. And I think where this idea of branching and working on a different skill, that's where this idea comes in most handy. Because if the problem I have with a piece of writing isn't that, you know, I'm out of ideas or whatever, it's that I have the idea in my head, but I am not yet skilled enough in some aspect of writing to actually write the idea per what's in my head. And therefore I'm just getting frustrated and therefore falling into writing block. The best thing I can do is go practice a different writing skill, or go practice a writing skill in a different context. Get my brain out of this problem, put it in a different problem, specifically give myself guide rails that I am, you know, going to try and practice this thing, like the epistolary fiction, which made me practice dialogue. Which amusingly, I've previously heard people say, write some movie scripts to practice your dialogue, and I was like, this is similar, but I'm finding epistolary way more fun. But yeah, I think, and because the other thing is, if I'm blocked on a project and I know something's wrong, but I can't figure out what, obviously I can't then, I don't know which skill I need to practice to go fix the thing. And I think I've also hit this problem before where, you know, for a year or so now, my strategy whenever I get blocked on a project is to go work on something else. And usually, you know, it's a short story, it's something very specific I'm wanting to do, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't always just magically solve the problem. Because half the time, whatever I decide to practice in this, you know, exercise thing isn't related to whatever caused the writer's block in the main project. But if I keep practicing enough things, eventually I will hit on something that is actually related to the problem. And so by increasing my understanding in this other thing, I'm then able to go back and look at the thing that I got blocked on and be like, oh, this is the problem. And it's not even always like I am now skilled in this thing and I can just straight away apply it to the main project. Sometimes it's I become skilled in a thing which gives me a bunch of questions. So it's once again the whole like, on this thing. Oh, you can actually, oh yeah, no, my mouse is tiny. It's like, I move one skill from unknown to, you know, up to a known unknown, up to a known known. So I've actually learned a skill, but in the process of learning that, I also identified a bunch of questions. And sometimes it's enough that I now have all these things that I know exist but can't yet do, that I can go back to the main project and be like, I need to answer this question now, because this is what I'm stuck on. And then at least then I can like direct myself. Is any of this making sense? This is my problem with having tried to write an article about this, because I've been rambling for how long now? Half an hour? But there's something there, and I'm sure someone's written about this before. Like there's probably something in a psych textbook somewhere. But I guess I've been partly trying to figure it out myself rather than doing heap of research, because I feel like, very on topic, I feel like going through the process of figuring this out is helping me be able to learn consciously learn better. Chips and salsa with it. That sounds good. We might need to think more. I mean, yes. Okay, I guess the problem I see with creative things, writing and art and such, which I used to have, and this has been my breakthrough of, oh, I just need to go think more. That I think with a lot of creative stuff, I have never seen in any of the like writing advice stuff that I've followed, and maybe I just haven't read the right thing, I've never seen someone say, if you get stuck with writer's block, you need to go practice your writing more. I've particularly never seen someone say, go work on something different. Because I think there's some authors who work on one project at a time, and there's some that work on multiple, like I do, just constantly jumping between them. But I feel like working on multiple projects is generally not, it's not even that it's not recommended. I feel like people just don't talk about it as much. Like everyone just kind of assumes that if you're working on a novel, you're working on a novel, not... There's like 6 on this board, I think. This is my outline now, by the way. They were taped to the wall, and then I realized that the tape's been up there for a while, and I was starting to risk peeling the paint off. So now they're here. I'm trying to figure out... There's a different slogan, and I'm trying to figure out how to... When you're problem solving, that is the obvious answer. Do I need more info, or do I need to think? Like, if you get stuck, those are your options. When you're doing something creative, read this book by Stephen King. Yeah, when you're doing something creative, I feel a lot of the time the answer you get is just practice more. And obviously sometimes, I think particularly with drawing at least, people will be like, you know, go back to basics, go practice basic shapes, color theory, etc. again. And I've heard a couple of times with writing, like, yeah, go write a script instead to practice your dialogue and stuff like that. It's just not framed the same way. I can't think of the words I want. This is driving me crazy. Or watch this film. Yeah, exactly. Like, games, it's very much like some of this isn't working, but I've got no idea why yet. But do you then go work on designing a different game? Or do you let, like, the one game simmer in your brain? You go through various religious texts that are trying to... I mean, it's cool that you're doing that. What are you reading at the moment, Chaos? I haven't heard... You haven't mentioned it in a while. I guess it's like simmering, letting something simmer in your brain is like you're specifically putting it into your unconscious brain. That's the point of that. Like, let it simmer in your unconscious brain and let your unconscious just throw ideas at you when it actually thinks of something. Whereas when I'm talking about, it's much more conscious. Oh, don't worry. Yeah. Yeah. So I think, yeah, what I'm talking about is much more conscious. Like, it's not... I can go through different iterations of it. Yeah, comedy-wise, you got to keep telling the same joke to go through different... Oh, you're seeking, sure. Hindu Vedas. Hey, that'll be interesting. I've never actually read Vedas. I've read bits of the Quran, just out of curiosity. actually comes through with a solution. Hmm. Yeah. I think, like, and I think you have hit, like, the bit that I absolutely can't explain, which is what is making it hard to explain the entire thing. Yeah, I see a very distinct difference between letting something simmer versus, I guess, specifically looking at the massive skill that is writing as, like, a skill tree and going, well, I'm stuck. I can't figure out what I'm meant to be doing here. Let's pick a branch and let's go practice something else instead. No, goal, but that's what you do in team. Yeah. Improv is fascinating to me. I think I don't ever want to do it. I don't think I'd enjoy it whatsoever, but the skills behind improv is fascinating. And I definitely see how it would help me with writing. I'm just like, how do I learn this without actually having to do improv? Actually, I like getting very concerned preparing for JLPT. I mean, fair. And what's the process? So that's what I meant earlier. There isn't, sometimes you don't know what skill you need to practice next. So it's not so much, oh, I'm missing this information or this skill, I'm gonna go practice that. It's, I'm stuck, I have no idea what's wrong. I am going to pick something in the massive skill tree that is writing and practice that. And then see if that will help me understand what I need to know, what I need to do to fix the block. Like, it's consciously increasing your overall knowledge, even if Not quite sure I know what you mean, Logan. Like asking the question of what's the next skill you need to learn? Because where I'm looking at it in terms of like block, like writer's block, I'm talking about the kind of writer's block where you have absolutely no idea what's wrong. Like there is an instinctive, there's something wrong here, but you have absolutely no idea what. Unknowns. Well, that's what I'm saying. No, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, you can't ask questions if you don't even have the basis to be able to formulate the question. So you go and learn something else that may be able to feed back in so that you have that potential to actually know what you're talking about, what you need to know. Because, like, you can't, like, I mean, other options are reading or watching a bunch of writing advice, or even, like, going and reading published books and trying to analyze them and shit. One, I hate doing this at ladder. I don't know what it is, but book analysis just bores me to tears. And two, the first one, I have read and watched so much writing advice at this point that it all just blurs. Probably a myth. That's what I'm saying. I don't think there is. Like, I mean, I guess the third one is you could get someone to give you feedback on your writing. But there is so many pitfalls with something like writing where there is never a optimal solution. Everyone's opinion of what is good writing and what a story needs is subjective. So, like, there is a bunch of other things you can do, and some of them can help. But I'm looking, I guess, yeah, I'm looking more at what can someone do just by themselves. Series Arcus pacing. Oh god, yeah. I'm nearing complete on one of the novels I'm writing. I also have everything. I have the entire rest of it outlined now, which is great. But the start was mostly fine. Like, Act 1 was mostly fine. The pacing of Act 2 has just been all over the place. I'm just like, oh god. And now I'm going into Act 3, and it's just gonna be event after event after event. And I'm like, this is a bit mad. But anyway. 90% of highs. We actually, well, no. We did what my teachers called book analysis. And what I now look at as, like, it's not the kind of book analysis I would do if I wanted to try and learn how to write better. It was more like critical thinking analysis, like analysis for critical thinking, which fair, useful, but yeah, like if I'm analyzing someone's story for writing, I do it much differently now. Because synoptical syntopical reading. Comparative reading at reading many books on the same subject and comparing and contrasting ideas. Oh boy, that sounds, I mean, yes, that would be good to do, but also that sounds like pain. At some point I will sit down and properly do some analysis, but up to inspectional, you know how to ask questions of any kind of text, how to make a book your own. Inspectional reading is to start reading, inspect it, look at all the parts, read the headings and first sentences, and generally familiarize yourself. I feel like I got taught that as part of speed reading. Level 3 is when you become a demanding reader. As a demanding reader, you exert effort, which you want to profit, requires you ask particular questions for tech, take note, blah blah blah. Yeah, that sounds like what I did with papers in uni. Classmate I met at pole dancing. Oh no. Cave allegory, just, I can never keep that one in my head. It drives me crazy. Syntoptic reading. When you reading a syntoptic, you're working to synthesize material across a discipline most of the time. Positive approach and the point at which you make the author's work for you rather than you interpret. Oh yeah, so this is just the kind of how to delve into a subject you don't know anything about. Yeah, this is the kind of thing that I do for, you know, researching an academic paper. That makes sense. Inspect all the materials, find the relevant passages, construct neutral terminology you'll use, create a set of neutral propositions, list of questions the authors need to answer, spend time defining the issues in the works, blah blah blah. Analyze the work yourself and understand the author's key positioning, sometimes blah blah blah, connect and analyze. Yeah, that's fair. That all makes sense. That's still like, because this is the thing, like this works for learning knowledge. Or, I mean, it would also work for a skill. But I think, like, I could easily use this for programming. I can see how that would work. But there's something about, like, writing and art, and RJ, probably even improv and such, where I feel like this doesn't quite work. Because there's never... I think the main problem, I think actually this might be the main problem. Part of the point of becoming a good writer, unless you're doing like tech writing and you're writing for a brand, part of the point of becoming a fiction writer in particular is finding your own voice. It is figuring out, you know, here are all the rules of writing, etc. This is how you're meant to write, blah, 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 all that shit. But part of the point is figuring out how you want to write. What is your unique voice? What are the things that you want to do and the things that you're going to throw away? And you have to learn the rules to break them, as usual, or at least to be able to break them well, because otherwise you're just fumbling around in the dark. But I feel like you can't develop that personal style just by trying to analyze and learn from like advice and shit. I feel like this is something that you can only get through practice. And that's why, like, I guess what I'm kind of, I mean, that's sort of what I'm saying, but instead of reading shit, I'm talking about practicing a bunch of different skills. Like syntopy reading, preparation, like bibliography, have all the things that you want to look at, etc., etc. And it's similar. Like, I'm thinking of all the different skills going to writing as like a skill tree. Here's your massive list of all the things that at least you know you could practice to improve your writing. But instead of trying to, because this is have all the things in the field and cool, sit down with each one and like analyze each one and analyze them against each other. I guess I'm talking about the opposite. I'm saying, okay, cool, figure out all the things that you could work on, pick one and very specifically focus in on that. One of the ideas that is close to my heart, I'm afraid not doing it justice. Yeah, it's because there are pre-existing biases that you're trying to break it, kind of like finding a voice as you've described. Yeah, I think I've also hit that with a couple of things recently. Like that's one of the reasons I've stopped actively writing empathy, even though it's in the back of my head, because the morals and the themes of empathy is very close to my heart. And I really, really want to do it justice, but it's also, I know it's going to be super hard. So I'm just like, I'm just going to keep practicing writing other stuff first. See, again, I'm like, I'm going to put this on a shelf. One, it's simmering away in the back of my brain because I need more plot points yet. But also it's like, that one at least I know I can't do it justice. I didn't know that 8 months ago when I originally got stuck on it. At the time I was just like, why can't I write the thing? I love this story, I want to write it. And now I'm like, no, I know because I've written other stuff. I can now see where empathy was falling apart. And I'm like, okay, no, that just needs to simmer. I'm gonna go practice a bunch of other skills. I now at least know what some of those skills are that I need. And once I've got a bit more practice, then I will go back and make another attempt at empathy and see if I can do better. That's gonna be a fun one. This story's not because I'm lacking. No, but that's what I'm saying. So Logan, it's not that this story is not working because I'm lacking X. It's this story is not working and I have no idea why. So maybe that's where we're like talking past each other. I'm not saying I'm writing a story and I'm stuck because I'm lacking X. It literally is the problem of I don't know what X is. I know something's missing. I don't know what X is. So what I'm talking about is figuring out X. And the only way I can, the best way I've found, not the only way, the best way I've found to do that, particularly for making it actually stick, which I find that feedback and such doesn't always, is go and learn more shit that's tangential. And that will help, like, by widening your knowledge of the overall skill. That may give you the context to realize that X is blah. So yeah, I'm not even at the like actually learning the skill to like get past the block. I'm at how do you figure out what the hell X is when it's something as nebulous as writing or drawing or any of those things. Because that's honestly why I gave up drawing, because I got stuck and I could tell. I look at my drawings and I'm like, this is not what was in my brain. This is not what I wanted to draw at all. This looks terrible. But I had absolutely no idea why. Like, what did I need to do different to improve? I don't know. I kind of just figured, well, if I just keep practicing, then I'll get better. Did a bit of anatomy study, blah, blah, blah. That helped vaguely, but not really. So I just gave up writing because I didn't know what X was. I couldn't see a way forward. So yeah, this is definitely more about I am completely lost in the dark. what do I do? Because, like, even, yeah, when I was drawing and when I gave up on it, like, I was in high school hard at the time. I was getting feedback from my teacher. Teacher was like, oh, you need to improve anatomy and you need to improve shadows and blah, 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 and all this sort of stuff. I was like, yeah, cool, okay. How? And then looked up a few exercises for that. And that still didn't work. And what I think now is my problem is I was missing something fundamental that I really needed to figure out before all that shit. But nobody was able to tell me what that fundamental thing I was missing was. And I'm guessing it's because it probably wasn't exactly a skill that could be named, but more, I don't know, some understanding of how something worked. Probably strange because you can play dentist without even learning how dentistry works, just running off a base understanding of dentist. Relationship with characters in a circle, truth, philosophy, etc. Yeah. And like, RJ, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you wanted to do a skit, say as a dentist better, sure, learning about a dentist and what they do might help, but doing improv well is probably much less about knowing how dentistry works and more about being able to convincingly portray whatever the actual themes or goals of the scene is, which is similar to writing. Like the amount of times we just bullshit everything. I'm always amused, as usual, with hacking scenes in anything I read. Like someone's written some hacking scene, I'm like, But some people bullshit it incredibly well. I read something, someone sent a chapter into a group I'm in looking for someone to beta something a while back. And they were like, I know nothing about tech, but I have a hacker character, I had to write a scene, I've made my best guess from just like, you know, random shit I've heard. Is this any good whatsoever? And I ended up betaing that, and one other person did as well, who both work in tech. And we were like, this is actually really good. The only thing that we would suggest, it would be to change this one little thing that the character does. And the person who wrote it was like, hang on, what? Because we'd suggested like an extension to the reality of the scene. We're like, yep, this, you've got this almost right, but if you just add this extra bit, it'll be that bit more real. But it turned out the writer didn't even understand the stuff that they'd put in. Like they were just parroting shit that they'd heard, and they didn't actually understand what they were saying at all. And so even trying to like fit what we'd said to add into the story, they were like, I don't understand any of this. So it's never about dentistry. Yeah, pretty much bullshit. Yeah. Then fiction is just a reflection. Exactly. Yeah, and it's like, what skills do I need to be able to portray what I want to portray? And if there's bits that I'm not getting correct and don't care to spend a bunch of time trying to figure out, how can I sufficiently suspend disbelief such that the reader, or in your case, audience, will focus on the stuff that I want them to focus on and not care about the stuff that I don't want them to care about. Yeah. Writer's block is a particular thing that I'm just like, oh god. I used to always just bash my head against the wall every time I hit it. And that's why I'd only write like once every couple of weeks, because I'd sit down and I'd start writing something and then get stuck. And then I would try to let it simmer in my brain, and that wouldn't work because that wasn't... Actually, sometimes that did harm. Like, the novel I finished last year, it took me 2 years to write it. And I was very proud that I finished a novel, like, at all. I was like, holy shit, I can actually do this. But one of the biggest problems is that because it had taken me 2 years to write it, and because I was only writing like a chapter every month or two, I gave it too much time to simmer. in between chapters, and the idea in my head of what the novel was about, because also I wasn't outlining it this time, this was just winging it. Actually, no, I had a very vague outline, but I hadn't really noted down, you know, themes and such. Because I gave my brain so much time to simmer after I started writing, by the end of the story, I had different ideas of what it was about than when I started. Which was particularly, oh god, when I read it back afterwards, like read the whole thing in one sitting, was like, it's mostly consistent, but there's a lot of like themes drifting over time. Which was also part of, like, you know, I changed over the time. I started writing that thing at the beginning of lockdown. So, you know, a lot of shit changed over the 2 years that I was writing it. But it was definitely, it's one of the reasons, like, I'm not writing empathy, because I'm trying not to do that again. I'm like, I'm gonna, if something needs to simmer, I'm gonna let it simmer until I start actually writing. Like, when I start writing, I need to lock in a bunch of stuff. So I know it needs to simmer. I'm gonna let it simmer. I'm not gonna touch writing it. And once I feel like I actually have enough ideas in my head to write it properly, then I'll sit down, outline it properly, etc., etc., and then try and write the thing faster than 2 years. Because yeah, it's like, yeah, there isn't a correct answer with writing. And so sometimes coming up with more ideas is actually detrimental to the thing. It's like if you're like with so many games, Logan, that have just so much shit in them. Like you were paring down Paranoia the other week to the basics, and I feel like it's a similar thing where sometimes if you either let something simmer for too long, or, you know, go too deep into brainstorming without trying to rein yourself in, you end up with something that's messy instead of good. Because it's a creative thing and there's no correct answer. So more time isn't necessarily the right solution. That's also a point that I hadn't put into words before. Cool. Okay, yeah, I guess there's a few different things then that we're talking about overall. Like, there's letting stuff simmer so that your unconscious brain keeps working through a problem. And generally, I feel like that's best for getting more ideas, really. Like, you let your unconscious brain keep simmering away at the thing, and then maybe it'll come up with new ideas, and you're like, oh yeah, that works, or that doesn't work. And then there's, oh, I'm lacking in skill X. Cool, I need to go learn that. But then there's also, there is something wrong and I don't know what. And sometimes the answer is to let stuff simmer. But sometimes it's figuring out what skill X is. And that's, yes, that's the bit I've been particularly interested in. What do you do when you don't know what you need to learn next? Because yeah, I feel like I've been stuck on that quite a few times. Like, so many things I've tried to learn that I got stuck because I didn't know where to go next. And things like, even like my job, being in management, being in product management, like there's courses out there and there's a million fucking articles on product management. So many product managers like talking about themselves, including myself, I guess. So there's a million articles on how to do product management. And so anytime I get stuck on product management, I'm just like, well, I'm just gonna go read a bunch of shit until I find something, it's fine. But that's all, most of the time, knowledge, not skills that I need. If I do need to practice skills, then that's a different problem. Okay. Jeez, it's 2. Thank you for humoring me ranting about this shit for so long. Did also help. I do have a much better idea of what the hell I'm trying to say now, which is good. Because, yeah, sometimes you just got to keep rambling about something until you figure it out. Admin work for gamers, I feel like I'm drawing a blank. Yeah? What are you... Like, you're stuck on something? Drawing a blank is a very good way of putting that, actually. Another comment. Oh yeah, I'm sure. The number of conversations we'd have about learning shit. Actually, the other skill that I've been working on is just editing. Like, going back and looking at stuff. Even, yeah, the last couple days I've been looking at something I wrote 2 years ago, a year ago? A bit over a year ago. Editing that. I'm like, oh god. It's a nice way to see where I've improved. I will say that. And also I feel like I need to practice my editing because I'm particularly line editing. Oh god. I have if I ever publish a novel, I'm gonna need a very good line editor because that's where I fall down a lot. What mental I'm supposed to token teammate. I see. Yeah, that can be hard. I guess my usual strategy for that kind of shit is, what needs fixing? Oh, this thing. I have no idea how to do that, but nobody else is doing it, so... Except then I get myself into too many situations and I end up with too many hats, as discussed earlier. I mean, do you have like a job description, RJ, that you can fall back to, or not that those things are ever useful, really, but you know, you can try. I've probably only mentioned my writing maybe a few times. Some algorithms picked up on it. I get a lot of writing shit now, which is good. I like it, but also like, oh boy. God, the Tooth Kingdom thing. My bio is writer. Yep. Yeah, I seem to be part marketing at work now, which is interesting. Kind of expected that, but also I see. Oh yeah, I turned the dishwasher on earlier. Hang on, I'm gonna go. Actually, I need to eat something as well. I dislike that the shelf behind me looks like my webcam's crooked, but it's not. It's the angle. I keep seeing that around my other windows, and I'm like, hang on, I need food. I cooked food earlier, but I haven't actually eaten any, and I should probably get some more water. I have biscuits. My stomach does not particularly like food right now, which is why I was cooking earlier. But since I haven't actually eaten yet today, we're gonna start with some basic biscuits. Next step will be getting to the festival circuit. Yeah? I see the improv like, festivals and stuff around here sometimes. I'm like, I don't mind going to one. There's now, I've discovered there's 2 little like art centers, both a block from me, which I keep meaning to go to some of the shows because we had Anywhere Festival last month. Hello, Toby. Toby woke up because I got biscuits out. Which Anywhere Festival is like, I mean, it's what the name implies. There's a month of shows and things, and they're just all over the place. They just find a bunch of venues in random places, and then that's your festival. It's like church halls and borrowing random empty retail space, and there's a random shed around the corner that I discovered's usually a photography thing, like photography center, art center for photography, I don't know. And it randomly became a place for stage shows. It's like the tiniest, narrowest little shed. Remind me to bring out Inhuman Conditions. Yes, I do want to play that. I reckon that'll be fun. A slice of the cake, I mean. That cake looks so good, RJ. That looks so good. Are you the only one because you're like hoarding it, or doing a D&D improv? Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, we do need to, like, we need to organize some board games as well. Gonna organize gonna organize another like drinks night or something, because I was holding off because of last night's drinks. But maybe next time we get together we'll bring a game or something. These are just milk arrowroot biscuits, but I swear Toby loves them. He's side-eyeing me. He obviously doesn't want to get up out of his blanket. But I'm being stared at. You doing okay, Bubby? You didn't go out in the sun. Our board games will travel. Yeah. I should try DMing someday. DMing, whichever. Oh, they're overseas. Okay, I see. I mean, at least you don't have to deal with your stepdad for a bit. Nice birthday present. Oh. That cake did look amazing though. I should probably, I don't know. There's a bunch of things I'd kind of like to learn, including, you know, baking a nice cake. But I'm also like, I just don't have the spoons around work. Just don't have the spoons. Maybe next time I take like a couple weeks off, I'll put a couple of days. The other thing is I don't like to practice a skill over a long time. Like if I want to learn to make a cake or something, I feel like I'm the kind of person who's gonna go, okay, this week I'm gonna learn how to like make a cake and ice it really nicely. And then make like 5 cakes in a week. So I feel like at some point that will happen, but 1, I need a week off to do that. And 2, I need spoons. But, you mentioned, I think you were talking about doing it. I don't think you said that you had actually moved. How's that going? I've never wished for a vertical monitor before, but I just realized if I have a vertical monitor, it would like fit nicer on overlay. I'm not gonna switch my monitors around just for that reason, but I was like, oh yeah, that would solve like half my problems. Oh no, I'm sorry, Toby. He's lying on the ottoman. And I tried to give him a little bit of biscuit. And I dropped it too close to the ottoman and it just bounced off it. So Toby did end up having to get up just to get the bit of biscuit. Oh, big stretch. Okay, this is bad. 360 a week? Yeah. A bunch of people I know are having to like move or deal with rent going up. That's just bullshit. Yeah. Like, so one of my friends in the neighborhood, I now no longer have all the people I used to know in my neighborhood, including Spider and Jim, have now moved out. Because there was Spider, there was Jim, and then there was another friend. Spider moved away, Jim moved away. Other friend, who's a tech writer, that I used to work with, he finally moved away the other week because his rent for a shitty 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom? I think it's a 1-bedroom. That doesn't even have a proper kitchen. Like, I don't think he had an oven, even. And there's a whole bunch, like, the aircon didn't work properly anyway. He got told that as of, I think, like, this month or something, they were putting the rent up from $400 to $600. And he was like, no, bye. So he's now moved a couple of suburbs away. And then the other day, we ran into someone who now lived in this building, who have a little fluffy white dog called Bob, who Toby absolutely adores. They're both kind of old and grumpy, but they get along pretty well, despite that. And they're moving out because the rent for their 2-bedroom apartment in this building is going up from $600 to $800 a week. And the stupidest part of it is they've moved just around the corner into one of the older apartment buildings, and they're getting a 2.5 bedroom place. So basically 2 bedrooms and an office for less than $600. So they're moving to a bigger apartment and paying less than they were here. But of course my concern is, how long is that going to be less? Like, rent is going up in every building around here. Are they going to be there for 6 months and then get hit by a $200 rent increase anyway? Yeah, I don't know. It's all crazy. I don't understand. I mean, no, I do. It's landlords wanting more money, and it's general cost of living going up, but also landlords just wanting more money. But I'm very glad I have a mortgage. Although I'm terrified of when the, because I've got the interest rate locked. I'm terrified of when that stops, and I have to deal with whatever the new interest rate's gonna be. Okay. At least my brain is somewhat calmed down after all that ranting. My brain was once again doing, like, I was bouncing off the walls mentally this morning, so doesn't help that I spent most of yesterday just like either lying on the couch while I was attempting to work or in bed, because like work finished, I went, this headache's getting really bad. Oh shit, this is a migraine. Took migraine medicine and then just went to bed yesterday. Sorry. RJ, what's happened with Lovey? If you've moved out and your parents are overseas, I guess your brother's looking after Lovey? Calm down. Good boy. Yeah, good boy. Someone made a noise in the hallway, and therefore Toby got all upset. Hmm. Why do I have it here that I was working? Mm. Mm. I'm looking through all my design projects and I don't feel like working on any of them. Oh god, that's the thing I flip out. Yes, I am just scrolling through a massive list of designs. These are all kind of iterations. Sausages for it. Just want to pay our actual attention. Whoop dog. That's the thing, like, I don't know. Getting a pet is a lot of commitment. Particularly a dog. I think a lot of people get one without actually understanding. I mean, I knew what I was in for, and I'm still sometimes like, I just want to go out. I do need to train Toby a bit better. Oh, factory sensor and the focus on her. Oh boy. Yeah, that would be a time. Because she's a fluffy little thing, isn't she? Which doesn't help if she's out playing in dirt and stuff. It's one nice thing about having a Dachshund now and him being short hair is that, like, he doesn't end up picking up a bunch of gunk while out walking, or if he's wet, he just dries off real fast, so I don't get wet dog smell all through the house. Not as much, anyway. Whereas Prudy's dog, being a poodle, oh boy. Wait, Queens of the Stone Age. Why do I recognize Queens of the Stone Age as a name? Hang on. I'm curious now. What is this? How loud is this gonna be? I can't finish this cake by myself. No! If only you lived up here, RJ, I would be happy to take some off you. That looks so good. Interesting. Okay. I didn't want to play that for too long because, like, copyright and stuff. But that was cool. No. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. It's been interesting because I've been, like, slowly removing myself from Splatoon, which is why I'm not going by Calamacat as much anymore. And obviously I still have you guys, but, like, I'm kind of used to at this point being in a wider community. So I've been trying to jump into, like, Discords for some of my other interests and stuff. And oh boy, I just... I think my biggest problem has been the ones that I join, and then there's, like, thousands of people, and the chat just gets spammed like mad. But then also most of them live in places where the time zone doesn't work. So, like, they all chat while I'm asleep or while I'm at work, and I'm just like, ah. Finding community is hard. I do have that little writing group now, but yeah. I figured it'd be rainbow, but that looks so good. God damn it, I'm so jealous. Your cooking is so good, RJ. I feel like I can taste this just from the photo. Like, I want it. I want some. I do need to learn how to cook cakes. Anyway, one of these days. What do I want to do? What do I need to do? God, it's two. I want to do some writing. I do need to go get some groceries as well. And the demands to be, I know, right? Like, oh my god, I had to explain the purple cake ace thing, the purple cake, that whatever the sequence of words is there, the other day to someone, and I was like, I feel old. I'm used to this having been a thing in the communities I was in. But anyway. I should possibly go do something else. Because I'm no longer, like, bouncing off the walls. I'm now, like, I could probably actually sit down and concentrate on some stuff. Oh yeah, I think these look terrible, but now that I'm actually using my computer. I got these the other day for a couple of bucks. They're just blue light filter glasses. There's no prescription in them. But I don't think any of them see my face. Maybe I could get that to sit a bit higher. Could I get it to sit a bit higher? How shit is the nose bridgey bit? Okay, not awful. That can sort of worked. Beanies of the rainbow? Nice. What do we think? They're really smudged. I think I need to not have glasses that are so low. I think that looks weird. They're super smudged. They're like dusty. They're so shit. You can tell that those cost like $2. And these were the other ones. Oh, actually, if I put this in as well. My first problem when I tried them on was that they sit way too low on my face, but now I'm like, fight. No, I don't think so. Sorry, I was just like looking around my desk and I'm like, oh yeah, glasses. Yeah, I don't think those silver ones work at all. They did not look that shiny on the photo. They looked more like clear. Toby's like, what are you doing? Boxes? Bags? Nothing for you. Oh yeah, I need to go through the moth pins. I am entirely torn on which. So, for those who aren't Logan, I don't know. Eric, thank you. The black ones? Rebound, use some kind of glass that gets. Yeah. Some glasses are just shit. These ones? I like them a lot better now that I've pinched the nose in and they're sitting a lot higher. But they're also, they're just so incredibly cheap that these legs are not gonna last long. I guess actually, yeah, they're not so bad now. My like preview is over here, so I keep having to glance that way to see myself. They're not so bad now that I've got them sitting higher. Okay. Because yeah, these are just blue light. I found that I haven't been needing my reading glasses lately, which is great, but also these have a blue light filter on them, which I'm very used to, and not having the. I think I've been missing the blue light filter more than the prescription. So when I saw these online for a couple of bucks, I'm like, I don't even know if they're gonna work, but hey, maybe. Okay, I think as I'm wearing them more, like I put them on the other day and my instinctive reaction was no. But I think as I'm wearing them more, I'm like, yeah, this isn't too bad. They're super reflective though, holy shit. I'm just seeing like, that's like the glare of the sky above my fence outside is that big rectangle. You'll see, yes, for those who aren't Logan, I bought some pins the other day. I did a slight shopping spree on Temu, which is like everything like $5. A lot of things are $5. I got a bunch of moth pins, which I absolutely adore. Let's see if this will show up properly. I need to shadow them. So that one's like pink and purple. That one's, can I get it to show up properly? That's like a couple of shades of blue. I'm not gonna be able to show these in detail, I'm afraid. That one's like a dark blue with eyes on the wings. And there's like a moon at the top. There's a lot of moons and stars and stuff on them. This one's brown and pink. I was very amused because the other ones are all like pastels and shit. And then there's that one that's brown and pink. And this one that's also brown and pink and is the only one that actually looks like a moth design. All the other ones have, yeah, like moons and shit on them, and then this is just a moth. But I'm gonna put some on. Actually, no, that's a thing. Where do I get the proper, you know, the backings that make sure the pins don't fall off? RJ, you have some because of all your pins, don't you? What do I even search to get like the pin backings that actually stay on? Because I want to put these on my bag, but I don't want to lose them, which is the reason I haven't put them on yet. Yeah, one sits on Vegemite bolognese, but there's a bolognese. That's a good point. Vegemite would work in bolognese, wouldn't it? Okay, I am actually starting to like these glasses quite a bit. I'm like, it's not so. I need them to sit higher. That's my biggest problem. Oh, I'm bending the whole nose doing the. Oh, jeez. There's basically no give in the little nose thingies. I think it's just bending the whole glasses because it's such shit metal that it just bends. Senshi had the pin backings. I guess if I just look up like pin backings, but I need the secure ones, the proper secure ones, not just... I swear I've seen Gaz mention a name of them before. Locking pin backs, that's right. Yeah, those fancy things. Craft stores sell them? That's a good point. Maybe I can even get some from like Spotlight. Locking pin backs. Yeah, there we go. That's getting me a bunch of... I probably should have been able to guess that. Toby, calm down. Beads on the glasses, right? Toby. Do you mean like the things so you can take your glasses off so they then hang on your neck? Toby! Come here. Come on. Come on. The cleaner just started vacuuming the hallway. He was getting mad at the cleaner. No. Come here. Come here. Come here. Yes. Good boy. Good. Uh-huh. Yeah, good boy. Good boy. I'm panning the stick on my beanie. It's like someone pushing a chopstick into your head. Oh, yeah, because the backings are so very big. Yeah, I'm at least looking at putting them on a bag, so they should be fine. But stop. No. The cleaner is right outside our front door. Like, the vacuum hit the front door just before. He is now getting ignored until he comes back to me. Good boy, yes, hello. Hello. If yelling at you doesn't work, you're gonna get ignored until you behave. Yeah, I don't know what it is, just lately he's gotten very, very annoyed about vacuums in particular. I used to be able to get him to, like, sit somewhere while I was vacuuming and he would ignore the vacuum and he'd get treats for it. That doesn't even work anymore. He just goes ballistic at the vacuum. So, and now he's doing it to the poor cleaners as well. Yeah, those things. I have been tempted to get glasses chains before, to be honest, Eric, because I do put my glasses down and then lose them quite a bit. But I've sort of solved that by just having specific places I'm allowed to put my glasses, and then that, at least most of the time, I just go check like 1 or 4 different places and then find them. I do also kind of like the look of some of those chain things though, because I've just gone full on like antique shit and witchy shit and like the oversized knit cardi, and I'm doing embroidery. That's right. Eric, you wouldn't have seen this. I used to do a lot of knitting and embroidery and shit when I was a kid, and then I stopped. I bought this the other day. This is why I went on Temu, was to get a little pincushion. And this is one of the ones that you put on your wrist, except that the elastic is a bit... Sorry, I had a watch on earlier, and now I don't have a watch on. And I was just like, when did I take that off? I don't remember. But yeah, I bought a cute little pincushion, which is why I went on Temu and then ended up buying like these glasses and a couple other things. But yes, I've been doing punch needle, which is fun because you are repeatedly stabbing a piece of material with a giant ass needle. This is ceramic mushroom too. Hey, those things are cool. I keep meaning to do terrariums, but then I'm like, I only have space for so many. But yeah, I got this kit and I started doing the other day, and you can't tell because I've only been doing the like dark green and light green bits. Can it, does it show? No, my camera's not gonna pick up the color enough. I've done like some bits here that are light green, and then I did like this stem. This was meant to be yellow. The only thing I'm mad about with this kit is they were meant to give me yellow thread for the stems, and I've got all the other colors. No, sorry, brown. That was meant to be brown. I got all the other colors, but they gave me dark green instead of brown, and I'm like, the material's dark green. It doesn't work. But anyway, yes. This is the thing. That's what I'm trying to make. I think I'll need to go buy some brown thread because the dark green doesn't work. So, bit of a shade. Yeah, I started with the green shades specifically because you can't see them as well, and I needed to like remember how to do embroidery. And I was like, let's start with the ones that you can't see very well, and then I'll do all the like white and yellow and shit later. But yeah, I've got like all these craft projects around, like just massive thing of embroidery thread sitting on my desk, slowly getting tangled. I really should hang this somewhere so it's not doing that, but Toby, they're not even vacuuming anymore. You're crazy. You're crazy. Macrame. Oh god, macrame. Yeah, I've made a couple attempts at that. How big were you aiming for? Because I've done like the... Oh wait, you can't see them. Plant hanging. I did a tiny bit of macrame just to get like my plants up there, and that was enough for me. To be fair, I'm just distractible, but like I was like, I could do multiple of these plant hanger things, and I did in fact do 2, but that was it. And the other thing I bought the other day was these. They're just cork octagons with sticky tape on the back, but I am planning, instead of having all these pieces of paper taking up my entire whiteboard, I'm actually planning, I've got a big patch of white wall up. For me, it's... Hang on. I hate pointing at stuff with my camera mirrored. Anyway, there's like whiteboard here, desk, and then there's a big patch of white wall. And I'm planning to put these up there and then like pin all my story things to them instead. Except these are much smaller than I thought they were. I think I'd seen a different listing where they were 30 centimeters, whereas these are 17. And so they're not going to cover the wall as well as I wanted. So I'm thinking maybe I need to buy the bigger ones, and then maybe I can do like a cool little thing with the 2 sizes. I don't know. This project come with poly illustrate. Oh god, yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, the punch needle ones. Where's... I still haven't finished it. And I've even bought more Legos since. I haven't finished it yet. Oh, sorry, Bubby. Sorry. I did the boring part, and then I haven't touched it since. Hang on, let me get it. So this is where we're at. We're getting there. We're getting there slowly. Hang on that way. This was the boring bit, the back, which is just so many pieces of blue. And I've now got these like brown things are where the stars and the swirls and shit connect. And there's a massive tree that goes down the front here and like up the whole height. And I've got to put all that together. But I think doing this backing absolutely killed my fingers. Like, that hurt. And I messed up a couple of times and I had to undo rows, and I just, oh my god. So yeah, that's where that's at. It's looking very pretty. I'm actually slightly mad that the massive tree covers up a bunch of this like village. It's such a cute little village, and then you cover up a bunch of it. And I think the point is that, like, because the tree's right at the front, if you look at it from the side, you can see the village. But like, there's so many little houses and things, and they cover it all up, and I'm like, why? These projects I can knock out. See, I can only do so much, and then my fingers start hurting, and I'm like, all right, I'm done. I think, yeah, I've done 3/4 of the instruction book. Like, it is a book. It's not a booklet, it's a book. So, that's the thing. Actually, now that you've reminded me that exists, I might actually do some of that this afternoon. The other thing though that's been driving me crazy, let me go grab. And you're wondering what I keep getting up for. So this is punch needle. Punch needle is how you make rugs, but one of the ways to make rugs, or very decorative rugs in this case. So this is what, like, punch needle ends up being. Oh, my camera's having a time with the brightness. Like, it's all fluffy. It's like a rug, yeah? So it's all like fluffy, and it's got depth to it, right? The back looks like this. The back looks like embroidery. It's all flat, and it's just little loops of stuff. Every punch needle kit I have seen recently, the like product images and the advertising and shit shows the back, and it particularly shows the back with like someone's taken a lot of care to make the stitches look all pretty and shit. But I keep looking and I'm like, I mean, you can do that in punch needle if you want a couple of depths and you particularly want a very flat area, like you reverse it. But that's not the point of punch needle. The point of punch needle is to end up with a fluffy, soft thing. And also, when I look at the backing that they show, like, I mean, what's the point of doing punch needle at that point? You just do embroidery with a gigantic needle and wool. But yeah, they do like, so this is the picture that's shown of this one. That's the back. That is very much the back. That is not, punch needle doesn't look like that. But the thing that drives me crazy in particular is like, I don't know how well you guys can see that, but those are massive stitches. Some of them in particular are absolutely gigantic. And the whole point of punch needle is that you do all the stitches small enough and close enough together that you get like fluffy loops on the other side. And I'm pretty sure if you actually did this, if you actually followed this image and did massive, massive stitches like that, you just have gaps everywhere. Like, it wouldn't end up with a solid fluffy thing like it's meant to. And every punch needle kit I've seen recently does this. And I'm just so confused. I'm like, is this meant to be the front? But they're somehow doing like weirdly, really long and controlled loops? I don't understand. So anyway, I bought these punch needle kits, and then I think I didn't look properly at the image when I bought it. I was just like, yeah, that's kind of cute pattern. And then I bought it and I got it home and I started staring at it and realizing that, like, this is the instructions. There's nothing else. That's the instructions you get. And I went, wait. So yeah, that was my, I mean, I bought these online, so what can you expect? But like, oh god. I'm so glad I vaguely know how to punch needle, because, and I did then go look up a couple of things online, because that was just not helpful in any way, shape or form. But yeah, I have been buying too much shit online lately. Hello, Toby. You think it's cuddle time again? Oh, puppy. He's getting annoyed at me. Wish I understood. Okay, let me show you what a punch needle looks like. Because, you know, embroidery, it's a normal little needle. It's cute. I mean, it's a normal needle. You can still stab someone with it, but it's a small needle, right? It's fine. Punch needle works a lot more like a sewing machine needle. That's what you use. Like, that's the needle for punch needle. And specifically, it's hollow. You actually put the thread down through it, and then there's a little hole in the needle. I don't know if you can see that at all because my camera doesn't want to focus. But you put the thread through the needle and then out the back. And the way it works is just like a sewing machine. You get the material and you stab this through the material in a gap in the weave, and then pull it back out so it like and it leaves a big loop of wool on the other side, or embroidery thread, or whatever you're using. And so that's how you get like the loops on a carpet. Like if you ever look at a carpet, it's loops of thread. Yeah, you use one of these massive needles and you're like trying to force something this big through the like gaps in the thread of the material, which to be fair is a very loose weave. But yeah, it's very cathartic. I had a particularly stressful week at work when I pulled this kit out of the cupboard and started work on it. But yeah, you work on this side and you just stab through the material repeatedly, and you just work in a line, and then you get all these loops, these fluffy loops. If it wasn't white, you'd be able to see it. Can you see the green a lot better? Maybe. Oh god, I'm so bad at holding stuff up for the camera. There. Can you see that it's loops? It has little loops, and then all the messy ends. Yeah, like literally when I started, I had to undo a bunch because my loops weren't like big enough and it wasn't fluffy enough. And I realized after about a line of loops, I was like, oh, I'm not being violent enough. Because you actually have to the length of the needle is the size of the loop. Like you end up, because of the handle, needle, if the needle bit is this long, you will get loops half that height. Because of you stab it through, you pull it back, you get loops half that height. So yeah, I was getting like tiny little loops, and I'm like, what have I done wrong? I'm like, oh, I just need to stab it harder. So yeah, punch needle is for when I need something cathartic, and I did just sit there and stab a piece of material 100 times or 1,000 times. And embroidery is for when I want to do something finicky and delicate, and then get a pretty picture at the end. And I also don't know what I'm going to do with any of these projects once I'm done. But hey, it's fun for the meantime. So, except Toby really doesn't like punch needle. he gets all grumpy and he won't sit next to me. Like if I'm sitting on the couch, he goes and sits on the other couch because he doesn't want to be next to me when I'm doing punch needle. Which, to be fair, it's slightly dangerous. I don't entirely blame him. And it makes a weird sound as you like punch the the material's pulled taut in the embroidery frame, so it's like you can tap on it and it makes a sound vaguely like a drum. And if you take that and then you stab a massive fucking needle through it, it does make some noises. And I think Toby doesn't like it very much. Anyway, that's fine. Bubby, really? I need to clean these glasses. Okay, I don't mind these glasses anymore, but holy shit, I need to clean them. Also, yeah, the legs keep like bending in. They're very much... Maybe I need to get a tiny screwdriver. Is there even a screw I can... Oh yeah, I could loosen that. I might do that. Okay. I figured this was... Because I'm starting to think I need a new prescription. And I figured this was a good way to try a different glasses shape, if nothing else. To see if I like it. I kind of do. Now that I'm used to it more. So, anyway. Alright, I think I may stop there. Because... He's just trying... Yeah, he just wants... Like, I sit down on the couch and he's like, cuddle time? And then I pull out the punch needle and he's like, oh no, it's not cuddle time. It's scary noise time. So, poor boy. But yes, alright. I think I should stop because my brain is no longer bouncing off the walls, and I think I want to go do some fiction writing now that I feel like I'd actually be able to concentrate. See you, Logan. Have fun. Yes. Thank you for hanging out, everyone. This may happen occasionally. I have absolutely zero plan for any kind of like schedule or anything. But I'm kind of thinking if I can. I don't think it'll work when I'm doing fiction, when I'm writing fiction. But I think maybe when I'm doing creative things, I might stream and hang out. Even though I didn't end up actually doing anything creative today, but that's fine. I need more ideas. I didn't have any. I was like, I'm gonna do something creative, and then I didn't actually have ideas of what to work on. So, but yes, it was nice seeing you again too. Oh, talking to you in this case. But yes, thank you, everyone. I hope everyone has a wonderful day, night, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. Bye.